just ran to the post office to send a package to my godmother. Happy December 21st, by the way. It's about 9:20, and wanted to do that before I went to work. And I got it done, and there was no line at the post office, which is amazing. I tried sending out the package earlier in the week, and yeah, there were so many people, I didn't even want to wait in line because I was going to be late for work. So today, 9 o'clock, there was no line, well, like 9:15, no line at all, and I got that sent out. They said it might even be there by Saturday, which is amazing. And yeah, so now I'm on my way to work. It's a good day. Today's big project at the store was rearranging. We moved, that stuff was already there, but we totally moved this center piece. These shelves that have sock sets on them were over along that wall. And these shelves that are up against this wall were in the middle, and it just got to be too much. The space was really tight in there, and once we figured out that we had enough room along this wall, we moved these over here, moved the socks to the center. There they are. And we also have room along that wall that I just showed you to do possibly something like this, so that we can have more yarn. We're going to get some more lines of yarn in the shop, and hopefully do some trunk shows with indie dyers and things like that. So all exciting things. But yeah, so here's the shop, newly kind of arranged, and I am almost done with my Thursday, with my day today.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Don we now our bright apparel. Join the ancient Yuletide carol. See the blazing Yule before us. Strike the harp and join the chorus. Follow me in merry measure, while I tell of Yuletide treasure.
Back at home, having another cozy night in, trying to finish up Christmas presents. I'm knitting another Christmas present. I'll show that to you in a second, but I am working on blocking one of them. This is my mom's blanket. I have decided not to soak it, which I was pretty set on the last time I talked to you guys about it. And my friend Carolyn was like, yeah, don't soak it. She's like, do you have a steam iron? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I do. And I do. I checked to make sure it steamed. She's like, just steam it really, really well. and we steamed a lot of things when I was working at Yarnology. I did a lot of the blocking there. We had a blocking service, and of course we used a ton of steam on things that we didn't want to like soak to wet block. So I'm like, yeah, duh, okay. Like, I don't necessarily have to spritz it or get it wet or anything. I can just use a really, really heavy steam and try and loosen up the stitches a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. I have it laid out here on the floor behind me, as you can see. And I have my checked, this is the, I don't know if you can, there we go. So down here I have this sheet which came with my blocking set, and this you're supposed to use like for steaming, either in between the steamed or like the piece and the steam if you don't want it to touch, or underneath to kind of, you know, have a safe surface to iron on. And I am using that because this blanket is obviously too big to really go on our ironing board, and it's gonna just get bigger with the steaming. So I thought that would be a good idea to just do it on the floor and let it relax for a little while I do other things tonight. Yeah, so hopefully that goes well.
Fast away the old year passes. Hail the new year, lads and lasses. Sing we joyous all together, heedless of the wind and weather. Christmas chorus, fa la la la, fa la 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 la, fa la la la, fa la 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 la, fa la la.
So there it is after ironing. I haven't really stretched it at all. It is bigger, and you can see it just lays a little straighter, and the ribbing kind of is, I guess, is flatter, really. You're not getting the knit ribs, the knit part of the ribbing sticking up as much like before. So yeah, I am pretty happy with that. I'm gonna let it sit for a bit because I did get some water on it, which is totally fine. I just want it to dry a little bit and sort of set before I pick it up and fold it back up. So yeah, I'll let it sit there for a little while, and I'm glad to have that done. So yeah, this is what it looks like, all finished. I've decided I'm not gonna do a border on it. A, I'm running out of time, and B, I think it's fine. I don't really think it needs it. I mean, it would look like a really nice finishing touch, but I'm okay with it the way it is, and it's going to be nice and warm and snuggly and be really, really beautiful anyway, so I'm just going to leave it as is. Hello again. I wanted to show you this that I just started last night. I started a new project. This is another Christmas present, and I'm hopefully going to see one of my best friends maybe on the 25th. I don't know. But if I don't see her, I'll mail it to her. She lives in Chicago. Anyway, so I'm in the middle of the row, which is really dumb of me to do, but this is the start of a Zuzu's Petals cowl. So this cowl mimics a shawl around your neck. So it's like, it looks like you've put the middle, like the center of a shawl on the front and kind of wrap the ends around, but it doesn't have ends. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen this. I've had it in my head to knit this cowl out of this yarn for my friend for like a couple of years now, and it just hasn't happened. And then I was thinking about the fact that I'm gonna possibly see her, which at first I I didn't think I was going to this year, so it wasn't like as urgent to get her a Christmas present or to make her anything. And then I decided I really wanted to make her something because she wears a lot of the things that I make her, and it's really awesome. And I remember this beautiful yarn. This is, oh, it's really gonna, oh wow, that lighting. What is it doing? My goodness. I think I'm gonna have to flip the camera around and show it to you that way, but this is, you start like top down and then you do the lace section at the bottom, which I just finished the first row and I started the second row of the lace right now. So let me flip the camera around and then I'll show you what I'm knitting with. So there really isn't a whole lot to see with the pattern yet, besides that center spine. But this yarn is amazing. So this is some hand spun actually that I spun a couple of years ago, maybe even like 3 or 4 years ago. My friend Crystal bought this for me when she was in Seattle for Vogue Knitting Live, the first time I believe that they did it in Seattle. And maybe it wasn't the first time, but it was, they haven't done it in Seattle for a few years now, and this may have been the last time they were there. They're going back again this year, so I think they're going to give it another try. But anyway, she bought this fiber for me because she wasn't a spinner, but she fell in love with this fiber and bought it for me as a gift, which was super, super nice of her. But this is a 50, sorry, shaking camera. This is a 50% wool, 50% silk blend. And there is the yarn. Let me get it to focus here. There we go. So just these beautiful dusty pinks. It actually is kind of gradiating a little bit, just the way I applied it. A lot of the color stayed together, so it is changing, you know, a little bit as it goes down, and I really am loving the look of it. There's some cream in there. It's so soft and luxurious to knit with, obviously with that high amount of silk, and it's pretty consistent. This was when I was still spinning quite a lot, and this came out to about a worsted weight, about 170 yards, which is plenty to do the worsted weight version. There's two versions of this cowl, a fingering weight and a worsted weight. And yeah, I just have always wanted to knit this cowl out of this yarn for this person, and this is the year for me to do that.